guess what I did? I went ahead and spent the day yesterday getting this beauty and this beauty. So what we're looking at, I did go ahead and get that TH400 from my buddy. Didn't pull it apart enough to get everything cleaned up and check it. Painted and put back together. Got this engine from another buddy. I'm gonna be able to use the tins off this and a few other small pieces. Kind of just a scrap engine, but it has good tins, so I'm stoked about that. So I'm gonna be pulling that pan off. That's the pan that's gonna be going on there. The balancer still didn't come in. It's something that's now getting disputed with UPS through that, so that's a whole nother deal. I got my paint booth set up, so I'll be walking you guys through that. But with that being said, it's time to party. Welcome to Potter County Patina. And when I do this, it's like cheers, it's because I have a button. So I know what you're thinking. By the looks of this, you're like, that's a high quality paint booth, and you're absolutely right. I hated having to spend the money on it, but it's something that's necessary. As much as I do this, I went ahead and splurged. Yeah, probably next week I'll buy me a contraption that shakes my paint for me. So I know, third world problems, I'm just living it up over here. But this paint booth is something that I've had for a long time. So I'm just letting you in on all the secrets. That's all that's going on here. Oh, and coming to find out that a lot of times if you eat, you feel way better and complain a lot less. So, I'm just gonna put that out there because after I vented a little last time, I went and ate and got all that done, that was so much better. Then I had a chance to stop and think about my life and ponder decisions, and well, it is what it is. So what you're seeing is a master at work here. So you're getting all the top secrets today. So I'm gonna put a heavy coat on here first because I've got a lot to do. We're gonna get that engine and transmission in there today. I've got the torque converter bolts, transmission fluid. I've got it all. So today is gonna be the day that we get to set stuff down. It'll actually be tonight, it won't be today. So we'll let that sit. Bam! Just like so. On to the next project. Well, I'm glad I thought of this. This is our next project. I'm fixing to pull this pan off. What I did was, I was about to flip this thing over and heard stuff sloshing around, and I thought I didn't drain the oil, antifreeze, nothing. Then I'm not paying attention, and this thing is set to the angle without the drain on that side, so rookie move there, good thinking. So anyhow, I need to flip this around because I got stuff to do other than hold the oil pan. There we go. Learned that secret when I was in NAM. Good deal. So I have the doors closed. Well, this door's cracked open a little bit to pull a little breeze through. Oh, see, I was about to wipe my face again with my shirt. I've got towels in there for that now. I've been trying over the last few days. I do it apparently about 400 times a day. The good news is it's only like, I don't know, 98 today, so we're golden. And there's a little wind. I'm gonna let as much of this drain out as I can. Got a little sludge in it. So a buddy of mine gave me this engine. I traded him for that $700 Ford that I had. And I really didn't have any interest in it. Once I found out I could run a TH400 and we went ahead and got that engine, I'm like, I'd rather have that combo than do some electric stuff. And it makes it easier on me because no electronics is super simple. And I already cut and got rid of most of the electronics in that truck. So that makes it pretty nice. So I wasn't interested in having it anyhow. He needed one as a core that he can have rebuilt. And I was like, dude, I've got one. He was like, well, let's trade because I needed the sheet metal off this. Anytime I make these small balancers, the Crowfoot cover, and these original tins. I love them. They look great as paint projects and that sort of thing. And they're coming harder and harder to come by, believe it or not. Now, this is the 3700, or excuse me, 3900 001. I think that's how they, yeah, 39700 10. So this could be the 2 or 4 bolt, either or. A lot of passenger cars have them. And more often than not, I find 4 bolts in these. So I don't know, it's got a 2-barrel intake, so more than likely it's not, but we're about to find out. And I'm gonna assume that there's antifreeze in here because I could hear it sloshing around. I have no way of pulling that out at this point in time. Once I flip it over, if it starts pouring out, I have my ash bin here and I have my litter there. So we should be in pretty good shape. So I'm gonna get this flipped up and around and try to keep my sweaty back out of your way. Let me set my oil up and get a few things done. So if I told you how much easier life would be with the tripod, I'm hoping you understand. So much better. Just move it around, bam, bam. Time is already cutting down. Today's Friday, which is awesome. Means I'm just about done with my day. I've got a few things to do in the morning, but other than that, this is it. So you're gonna have the pleasure of watching me take this one off and seeing if this is a 2 or a 4 bolt. If it's a 4 bolt, I'm gonna keep it. If it's 2 bolt, I really don't have any use for it other than the tin. And a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but people have asked me where I get all this. I've got big racks of bolt bins back here that are always got what I need in it. A lot of times this is it. I'll get it through here, then I'll clean all the bolts up, and there we go. Sean did mention that this engine is no good. He said it's got a good bottom end. I think he said it had good oil pressure, but the valves were suctioned up into the head. He said you could get the valve spring to move it up and down. That's no good. Anybody's name that I mention is, that's my people and good friends of mine, that sort of thing. They've all said it's fine if I say his name. And if you don't have a cordless ratchet, I don't know what you're doing with your life. This makes engine swaps so easy. If you can get it in there with 2 fingers up and a little crack where it's behind you, you know, when you're like this trying to get it, and you can get this in there, done. They make one with a long neck that I like to have. We'll have to wait on that. So you can see I got this bottom door shut just a little bit. I got it shut so that it's not moving stuff around and making my place look haunted because the wind is bad out here. I bet y'all are proud of me right now. I'm using a towel. It's dirty, but that's fine. All right, all the bolts are out. And this pan's in pretty good shape. See if I can mess that up. Looks like it's already trying. Nice. So I'll probably forget where I just set those and spend the next 30 minutes walking around the shop. So this is the moment of truth. 2 or 4. 2 or 4. Place your bets. 2 bolt main. And dirty. Wow. God, this thing is high mileage. Yeah. Whoever owned this, they got their monies out of it. Monies, their money out of it. goodness. Give me just a second. I'm gonna get this set up where y'all can see this. This thing has been cool. Even the seals. This is rough. Give me a second. I'm gonna get y'all set up and show y'all this. So I'm gonna hold this best I can, but see how dirty and grimy that is, sludgy. Look at the top of the oil pump pickup. This thing has miles. Sean said the gentleman, he told him, you know, what was going on, and they just went ahead and got a reman, which would have been the best bet in this scenario. This one's pretty rough. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. I just got this for the tins, so I'm gonna put the oil pan pump, or excuse me, the oil pan on it, and button this up, and we're on to the next one. Now I did notice how excited y'all were to see me pull that off. The two-bolt main does no good for me. There's no reason for me to even have it. I'll pull these tins off at another point in time, and this one will go to the scrap guy that comes by here. So that's good. And I'll keep a lot of these. I'm just gonna put a couple of them in to hold this pan on. I'll run these through, I'll say a parts washer, but I won't even take it that far. I'll put them in something until I'm ready for them. Then I can clean them up and do what I want to do with them. These little pan bolts come in good for everything. So it's it and that's that. So next thing you're gonna see me do, we're gonna get this transmission mated on. I've got to put the flywheel on that engine, which means I gotta get it off the cherry picker. I gotta put it on the stand and get all that sort of stuff set up. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get this transmission up onto something where I can just marry the two. I'll have the torque converter on there and filled up, and we'll go from there. So catch y'all. Before I get too carried away, I figured y'all might want to see some of that yum yum that's in the bottom of this. That looks like brownie mix, and it's heavy. Like that pan is heavy, so all that's got to come out and be cleaned up. So at this point, y'all won't see me clean this because I'm gonna have to take it and go get another case of brake fluid. And how do I say brake fluid? Brake parts cleaner. Anyhow, just thought I'd show you that. That way you kind of see that thing is war. They got their money out of that. Anyhow. Oh, what's that? What's on my head? Oh, I figured you knew. I'm just over here succeeding. Did you hear that? That was out front just a second ago? That was the bus. And it wasn't the struggle bus. I'm getting it on. What's that you say? Oh, how do I know what torque pedal I'm going to? I don't. But this little guy isn't going to do much. We're just getting snugged up to where it's bottomed out. Oh, what's that you say? Oh no, this is the first time I've ever done this. See the difference? We're getting there. Going through the back, make sure I'm not on our main seal, and we are, sure are. So these won't work, of course. So let me stop you there before I do something. Y'all ever been into, let's say 7-Eleven, tootin' totem, you're sitting there chilling, having a Slurpee, and a pigeon's walking by and he's got a french fry in his mouth and he's just strutting around and all the other pigeons are trying to get his french fry, but they know to stay away. That's what I'm doing right now on my head. I am stoked to have it at this point. It's late Friday, and this is ready to go in tomorrow, Saturday. So we're back on schedule, back on where I wanted to be. So I'm one happy camper right now, and everything looks good. It went together good. Everything's torqued down. What a good spot to be in. I feel good about this. This whole week has kind of kicked me right in the face, and this feels good to have done. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys, and tomorrow's another day. I've got some things to do first thing in the morning with some clients, and then this bad boy is going to its new home in that. That's a good timing too, because that's going to need to sit down so that I can work on the front end a little bit, because I've got to jack it up. I've got to have some weight on it. I can't lower that down and get the coil springs out without having some weight on it. Well, I can, but sure makes it easy. I haven't talked to Alex. Hopefully he's got all my stuff done this week. He's supposed to let me know tonight or tomorrow, and then everything's going to get shipped out. So we're back on schedule, kind of. But until then, guys, I'll see you bright and early in the morning.